Hey, what's up you guys, Jackjackhd here. So today I'm going to be showing you guys how to change colors every elimination. Alright, so in order for you to change colors every elimination, there's a few devices you got to use. So instead of me just showing you guys the settings for the devices and telling you guys, hey, you gotta do this, you gotta do that, I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys exactly how the devices work so that you understand what you're doing and you have a better chance of following this tutorial right. How to change colors. This is actually the three devices that I'm using. You got the random number generator, and I'll actually explain to you guys how to use that. There's the triggers. Hopefully you know how to use this, but if you don't, it's all right. Then you also have the visual effect power-up, and there's multiple visual effect power-ups, and these are the different colors that you can change to. Lastly, there is actually another device I totally forgot. Another device you got to use. Other device you got to use is this team settings and inventory, and I'll show you guys how to use this if you don't already know how to. All right, so briefly to show you guys what happens when you get elimination. When you get elimination, this actually activates and it randomly chooses a color. All right, you guys, so I'm going to start from scratch and reset this island. I'm going to show you guys how it's done. All right, so now I'm on a fresh new island. So first things first, goes to my island. And what I'm going to change is in the settings tab, I'm going to change the time of day. I'm going to set this to 4 p.m. so I can see what I'm doing. I'm going to set a few settings just for my game mode. The game mode I'm going to be building is a 1v1 game mode, and there will be 2 people, and the 2 people will be able to change colors every time they get an elimination off the other person. In game settings, I'll set time limit to none. In the settings tab, I'm going to go ahead and change starting shield to 100. For some reason, it's set the no shields on default. Infinite ammo, I'm going to turn this on. In the settings, eliminated players' items, I'm going to set it to keep. So anytime you get eliminated, you keep your items. And lastly, health granted on elimination, I'll set this to 50. Alright, so that is just basic settings I have for this game mode. So if you want, you can always go through the settings and set up your settings however you like. But for the game mode that I'll be building, it'll be for a 1v1. But you can definitely have this mechanic in box fights or any other type of game mode. But just for example, I'll make a 1v1 game mode. Alright, so right now I'm going to go into devices and I'm going to select the devices that I'll need so that I can make this mechanic. Here are the devices that I need on my person. I'll need the trigger. I also need the random number generator. Apparently it's not a popular device people use. Next, I'm going to use the team settings and inventory. And lastly, power up gallery. Alright, so first things first, we're going to go ahead and throw the power up gallery so we can get that color change effect. We're going to go ahead and delete these 2 other devices and take this visual effect power up. Alright, so this visual effect power up, this is actually what allows people to change colors. Alright, so these are all the settings for this visual effect power up. I'm going to change a few settings. The visual effects, it's all up to you. There's the outline and there's the glow. They both look really cool. I'm going to have it set to glow. Color, this is the color of the power up. So anytime you collect the power up, this is the color that you'll become. And effect duration, I'm going to have this set to infinite. So make sure it's on infinite. Another settings I'm going to set is time to respawn. I'm going to set it to instant. Another settings I'm going to change, not really important, this settings here, but I'll actually turn this off. It's the audio of this power up, and that is it. Confirm. So this is my first visual effect power up. So next, once you have that, go ahead and duplicate it. What you're going to do next is a fun part. You can decide what colors you want in your game mode. So all I'm going to change is color. I'm going to set it to sky blue. Again, you can choose whatever color you want. I'm just going to go through the list. And I'm going to make 5 colors. Maybe 6. Alright, so now I have 6 different colors, 6 different power-ups with different colors on them. So next, what I'll do is equip the random number generator. I'm going to place it right on the floor. Like so. I also had a grip snap, just to let you guys know. I had a grip snap, you can see on the left side of the screen. I had a grip snap of 16, so I was able to place it flush on the floor. So now I have a random number generator. This randomly selects numbers. What I'll actually be doing with this is actually making it as a type of trigger. Go into the settings. First settings I'm going to change in this random number generator is the zone. I'm going to have zone set to backwards, and this is what it does. It sends a wave forward. Next settings I'm going to change is winning value. I'm going to set this to 0. Next option, I'm going to change roll time. This is how you set how fast a random generator selects a random number. I'm going to set the instant. The next settings I'm going to change is set the length to 3. So once you got that done, go ahead and select the trigger. Once you have a trigger, go ahead and place it in one of the boxes in the random number generator, just like that. After that, go ahead and copy that and place it in every single box. Alright, so once you have that, go ahead and line the visual power-ups with the trigger. This isn't necessary, it's just to make sure that everything's all organized so it's easier to understand. Next, we're going to go ahead and use the team settings and inventory. It should be in your traps inventory, right next to the generator. Doesn't really matter where you place it. Then go ahead and place a second one. Alright, so in the team settings and inventories, we're going to go into the first settings. For this one here, we're going to set team to team 1, like so. Then the second one will be team 2. Alright, going back into the team 1 settings, we're going to go all the way to channels only, or you can even just scroll all the way to the bottom of all settings or all options. But what we'll be changing in this team settings and inventory, we're going to be changing when enemy eliminated by team member, transmit on. We're going to set this to channel 91, like so. Same thing with the team settings and inventory. We're going to go into the settings once again. When enemy eliminated by team member, transmit on channel 92. Then the team 1, we have it set to 91. So make sure one enemy eliminated by team member, have it set to 91 on team 1, team settings and inventory. Then the other one, make sure it's set to 92. Alright, so next we're going to go back to the random number generator. We're going to go back into the settings. We're going to scroll all the way down. And the settings we're going to change is activate when receiving from. We're going to have this set to channel 91. Alright, so for the people that don't know what's going on, so because in the random number generator I have it set to activate when receiving from the channel 91. In the team settings and inventory, we have when enemy eliminated by team member, transmit on channel 91. When player 1 gets elimination, it sends a signal to this random number generator, and the random number generator randomly selects one of the colors for that player. Now you might be wondering about the team 2 and how it's set to channel 92. How is team 2 gonna have their character color changed? I'm gonna actually have to duplicate everything, but before we do that, we're gonna go ahead and connect the triggers with the visual effect power-ups. Alright, so first things first, this one here, I'm gonna have this one. I'm still in the channels only, just to make it easier on myself. If I don't use channels only, I'll go to all options and I'll just scroll all the way to the bottom. Not a big deal. But the settings we're going to change is when triggered, transmit on channel 1. So that trigger is now changed. What I'm going to have to do is go to visual effects and power-ups, go to channels only, and the settings I'm going to change in here is pick up when receiving from. I'm going to have this set to channel 1. Alright, so once you're done with those two, go ahead and go to the next one. In this trigger, I'm going to be changing when triggered. I'm going to have this set to channel 2. Also, this visual effect power up, I'm going to have this set to channel 2 as well. So pick up when receiving from channel 2. Then so on. This one here, channel 3. Channel 3. Next one, channel 4. Next one, channel 5. Last one, channel 6. Like so. Make sure you go through the settings once again, make sure they're all correct. You never know, you might have made a mistake. I make mistakes myself, so make sure you check through the settings once again. Make sure the trigger and the visual effect power up next to it is the exact same channel. Alright, so once you have that done, if you want a second player to have the same effect where if he gets an elimination, his color changes, you're going to copy the random number generator and all the triggers and all the power-ups. I'm on Xbox with a Xbox controller, so to select devices, what I do is click on the right on the D-pad and it highlights green, copy everything, and I'm going to copy it and place it right next to it, like so. Because I copied it, everything's the exact same, all the settings are the exact same. But what I need to change is this: activate when receiving from. I'm gonna have the second one set to 92 instead of 91. And the reason for that is for player 2. Player 2 settings, I have one enemy eliminated by team member. I have it set to channel 92. Alright, so to test it out yourself, what you can actually do is walk over a random number generator, make sure all the triggers are aligned, make sure everything is in place. Next, what I'm going to do is actually drop weapons into the team settings and inventories. You can choose whatever weapons you want. Just for testing reasons, I'm going to have the legendary pump. And because these are 2 teams, you're going to make sure you drop the weapons on both team settings and inventories. And there you go. I think we're ready to test it. But before I test it, I'm going to place down spawn pads. Alright, we're going to test it out. And there you go. I changed colors. Once again, change colors. And there you go. Just to make sure he changed colors, he can change colors as well. And he's on team 2. Alright, so I tested it out, and for the most part it works. So be sure to test out your maps, see if it works. If it doesn't work, you can always go back to the drawing board. Make sure you look through the tutorial, look through all the settings that I have, and try to understand what I did here to get this thing to work. So one thing I noticed is when you do spawn, you actually spawn without a color. What you can actually do to fix that, you can actually go to the spawn pads that you have around the map. I have 2 teams set in my game mode, so I'm gonna have this one set to team 1. Then I'm gonna have the second one set to team 2. So team 1 settings, 1 player spawned, I'm gonna have this set to 91. Then the team 2 settings, 1 player spawned, transmit to 92. So if you're having trouble with your map, what you can actually do is start your game. You can walk over your random number generators just like this and see if it's actually being triggered. And as long as the triggers are activating, you should be able to switch to those different colors. But if you don't switch to those different colors, it means that your trigger and your power up might not be on the same channel. Maybe you have to look into the settings to fix it. Alright, so some options for you guys if you guys do want more people in your game mode to have their color changed. So what you're gonna have to do is duplicate what I showed you guys, duplicate the random number generators and the power-ups, and make a third one, and so on if you do want more people. And then you're gonna have to have another team settings and inventories up to, you know, the amount that you want, and also have different teams for every single one of them. And also, one enemy eliminated by team member, transmit on maybe even like 93. So the third one would have to be 93. Then the fourth one would have to be 94, and so on. And obviously the random number generators, you're gonna have to change the activate when receiving from to 93, 94, then 95, then so on. Alright guys, so I showed you the base settings so that you can get this done, get this thing working. Now it's up to you to make a game mode out of it. So good luck with that. If you don't already know, I stream on YouTube, so be sure to have notifications on so you don't miss a stream. If you guys enjoy this video, enjoy videos like this, be sure to leave a like on this video. Subscribe for more videos just like this. This thing that I showed you guys is just a little small feature that you can have in your 1v1 maps, your box fight maps, and hopefully you guys have fun doing that. And be sure to let people know how you know how to do this. Watching JackjackhD's video on YouTube. Use code Jackjackhd in the item shop if you want to support me. Greatly appreciate it. And yeah, you guys, I'll see you guys next time. Take it easy, guys. Peace.